In this presentation, we will show and explain the remove outliers function within Lameness Locator. In general, this function will be uncommonly used. This function enables the user to remove certain collected forelimb strides from being considered in the calculation of the RF and LF A1, A2 values and in the calculation of mean and standard deviation of max diff head and min diff head. This function is designed as an additional aid to remove forelimb strides with random vertical head movement caused by head tossing or shaking unassociated with normal vertical torso movement or lameness that were not removed by the standard Lameness Locator curve fitting algorithms. This function is only available to the user to remove outlying forelimb strides, since random vertical pelvic movement unassociated with normal vertical torso movement or lameness is uncommon. This function is the second point in the software asking for user interaction, beginning after the user accepts the beginning and ending points, which instigates the Lameness Locator forelimb evaluation algorithms. At this point in the software, the ray diagram for forelimb lameness is displayed along with a window asking the user, do you want to remove outlier strides or is the horse misbehaving? The user can move this window off the forelimb ray diagram to examine it. In this particular case of a mild left forelimb lameness, since most of the rays are pointing downwards, notice that a few rays are pointing up into the first quadrant. These are most likely outliers and caused by the horse tossing its head during evaluation. Since they are large and unlike most of the other strides, their contribution to calculation of min diff head in this case will be large, reducing the absolute value of the mean and increasing the standard deviation. This interferes with the ability of the user to conclude that the horse has a mild left forelimb lameness. As an alternative, the user can remove these few strides. To do this, the user selects Yes. This opens a small text window asking the user to enter a standard deviation above which are considered outliers. The text window can be moved off the default forelimb ray diagram, which is underneath. The standard deviation default value is 100, which will practically accept all strides. A conservative value, one that will remove few strides in few circumstances, is 4 standard deviations. In this particular case, we will enter a value of 2 so that any forelimb stride with a max diff head or min diff head greater than or less than the mean value plus or minus 2 standard deviations will be removed from use in lameness calculations. Entering 2 and selecting OK replots the default forelimb ray diagram on top and the new forelimb ray diagram with the outliers removed on the bottom. Notice that in the bottom forelimb ray diagram, the few rays in the upper right quadrant have been removed. The user is re-asked to remove or not outliers until satisfied with the results. Once the user is satisfied, select No. The user is then asked whether to retain the default analysis, which includes all strides, the first choice, or to only retain those strides saved after outliers are removed, the second choice. Once this choice is made, the analysis continues to completion until the user is asked to save the results or not. In this case, let us bring up the default analysis, one made without removing outliers, and the analysis with outliers removed side by side. Notice that in the default analysis, the one on the left, that the A1, A2 value for the left front is 0.82, which is above threshold and suspicious of a left forelimb lameness. But the min diff head is only about -4 millimeters, with a large standard deviation of about 18.8 millimeters. The small mean below the threshold of -6 millimeters and the large standard deviation make it difficult to conclude that the horse truly has a mild left forelimb lameness. However, looking at the analysis after the outliers are removed, the one on the right clears things up a bit. The A1-A2 value for the left front is now above 1, stronger evidence of a left forelimb lameness, and, most importantly, the min-diff head is now minus 9 millimeter, with a standard deviation of only about 8.7 millimeters. This is much more consistent and clearer evidence of a mild left forelimb lameness. This can also be seen by comparing the corresponding forelimb ray diagrams.